is what it looks like. I also want to show you a couple of bits that I got in Spain. Hi everyone, welcome back to the garden. I thought it would be a great time to give you a dahlia update. We're just back from a nearly 2 weeks holidays in Spain. You might have spotted that on Instagram, and coming back here, the garden has suffered. But just before we left, I managed to grab a little bit of footage. This is what the garden looked like around mid-July. Look, we have our first dahlia bloom. This is a dahlia called Pretty Woman. Hey princess, do you wanna help me? Do you wanna help me film the garden tour, Baba? Okay, so once again, I'm going to start the tour right here, next to our mini greenhouse. The penstemon that I found at a car boot sale is doing well. It's on its first flush of blooms, I think. So what I will do is make sure to get it back so I can get more blooms. This is Bishop of Dover. I really love the subtle purple hues that it has. Campanulas are some of those plants that you can get back and they'll get you a second flush of blooms. This one actually blooms from spring all the way to autumn. I love it. Still have a couple of verbena plants that I need to plant. And the cold frame is pretty full now. This is Rose Campion. A little bit stressed, but doing okay. Over here I have some Aquilegia. And at the bottom as well, those will flower next year. Next to it, some Nicotiana that I grew from seed. I'm so happy with this plant. It's been blooming profusely since May. All the dahlias are starting to bloom now. This is Mexican Star. It produces really small blooms, but the bees love it because of the open center like this. I really love the burgundy color also of the blooms. Beautiful. Ooh, and this is the Autumn Joy sedum that I got last year. It grew really well. Probably it will be time to divide it next year. Look, we can already see all the little clusters of flowers that are forming. It will bloom a bit later, towards the beginning of autumn. Xwitopia here, another Nicotiana plant. When the blooms fade, they get this white coloration. It's pretty nice as well. It's my favorite dahlia. I really do love the contrast of the lime and the darker leaves. I think it's really beautiful. And I got this one in the Netherlands when we went to visit the Keukenhof Park. I'll pop a link to the videos if you have missed that. The Keukenhof is a beautiful tulip park and it was incredibly beautiful. So this was the first grouping of plants that I have here, and just across from that, guiding us to the sofa, I have another grouping of pots. Actually right here I popped a little row of geraniums and they've survived so far. So we have a bloom right here, that's really nice. This was supposed to be a dahlia called Wine-Eyed Jill, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like what's on the picture. So I'm not sure if you can ID this dahlia, let me know. This was the second plant of Wine-Eyed Jill. And this is more like what I expected, so a darker center. So that other dahlia is just so different. I really love this one. I did stake this dahlia earlier on. Just next to it, we have the containers that were put together on the channel previously with cosmos grown from seed. Still no buds on those, but look at how bushy that plant got from pitching. I'm so excited. This one also got pretty huge, so we'll have some blooms pretty shortly, I'm sure. And this year I have petunias for the first time in my garden. This one is velvet. I absolutely love the color. I also added some euphorbia. Really love the structure of that plant. It's really airy and light. I love it. And I also absolutely am in love with verbena and Calibrachoa. I think those three, the petunia, I'm in love with the combination of petunias and verbena and calibrachoa. I think that just goes really well together. So everything is going pretty well. I did cut back recently the RD geranium here and it's already leafing out like crazy, so we might have a second flush of blooms. Another thing I'm really proud of are those serines that I grew from seed also. And earlier I saw a bee on those. Really beautiful. I love that bluish foliage and a little touch of purple. It's really lovely. So this is just doing really well. Here the Lady Gardener is already pushing another flush of blooms. This is so incredible. Last year also it was the most floriferous rose in my garden. Look at this. It's another rose by David Austin. Just love the color and the shape of the blooms. I do have more roses here. This is Royal Dahl, also on its second flush of blooms. It bloomed so well. This is its second year. Over here another Dahlia, and this is really the plant that I have the most of in my garden in summer. I'm just obsessed with them. I'm not sure what's up with this one. The bloom stalks are really short, nearly inexistent. So I'm not sure, I was expecting it more to look like this, so much taller. But it's still blooming and the blooms look really beautiful in purple. And this is another Dahlia surprise. So over here I had bought a mix from Molko, a supermarket in the UK, and this was supposed to be polka. Not this deep red color right here. I mean, it is pretty and it is blooming and it is a dahlia, but this is not the color that I bought. I have no idea what variety this is because this is not what I bought. This is not what was in the packet. So please let me know if you can ID this one too. If you've seen the meadow update, you might notice that I cut down the parsnip because it was really full. It was really full of aphids and also it was starting to go to seed, so I didn't want to have more parsnip over here. The verbena is looking fantastic. We've had a lot more yarrow blooms since. Look at this. All around on the edges, maybe where they could escape the kittens a bit, that kept roaring around and playing. There's also a lot of knapweed that started to bloom. Those popped around the entire meadow. I think those are from the perennial mix. So it's still nice. There's still a few bit of colors to look forward to. The dahlias are growing on really well now. I potted them on earlier this year, around the middle of March. They grew on well and this helped me get a head start for the season and get blooms earlier. I planted them in the ground, I think, about mid-May when the tulips were done in the flower beds and also in containers. And the first bloom appeared in mid-July. It's so exciting, they're doing really well. There's a few more varieties I'm waiting on, but I'm very pleased with the show so far. This is Wizard of Oz. It produces pretty well so far. I've got a few flowers from the plant already. I absolutely love pompon dahlias. I really wanted to have more this year in the garden. Over here, this got completely sat on by Simba, so it's good to see that it's rebounding, but I think we'll have to wait a little bit longer for flowers. Over here, some buds, but also some plants that are taking a little bit longer to grow. A few more sweet peas to pick. This is the tiniest bloom. It's so cute. I think it's Rocco. It's super cute. I love it. I have a lot of aphids on those. I really need to damage control this. This is Arabian Night. I had it in my garden last year. I loved it so much it had to come back. Look at that beautiful maroon color. It's beautiful. I normally spray for aphids, but look at this. There's so many ladybirds in the garden. and taking away their food source wouldn't be beneficial. Oh, look at this. I am so excited for this. This is an holly ox that I planted last year and got completely decimated by slugs. I have two plants, one here and one just at the back, and it started blooming. Look at this. Look at this. It's so beautiful. This is going to be a spire of flowers, and it already started blooming. I have another containers with 2 dahlias, but no blooms just yet. And this beautiful one, beautiful pink one. It's a mix, I'm not sure of the exact variety, but it looks like a lotus flower, really beautiful. And there are tons of flowers on this plant. I have a spruce tree over here, a lilac, a bunch of begonias. They're blooming. Here are more begonias. Oh, here I have some snapdragons that I grew from seed. Those are the end of the blooms there, so remember to cut back. And then a couple of geraniums. Hello. And a scented one over here to repel mosquitoes. I love begonias. Another begonia, yes. And this is the shade garden. It's looking good. Mostly astas and nucras. Look what I found the other day. I have a jasmine here that I'm trying to keep size controlled pretty badly. So I've been hacking at it for years since it completely destroyed this fence panel that got replaced. Look, this year it's blooming. It's scented, it's absolutely delightful. When we came back, the garden had suffered. We had really little rain. Actually, July was one of the driest months this year on record in the UK, so the plants have struggled a lot on their own. So I had to deep water the garden several times just to make sure everything could get a good drink. I also had to deadhead, remove any spent blooms to encourage more flowers. And a couple of things had to be sheared back. But I think most of it is going to survive. So let's have a quick look at how things look after the holiday. So the garden fried. Not everything, but we have dead seedlings. We have a lot of deadheading to do everywhere, some staking, more deadheading over here. Look at this. A lot of yellowing foliage over there, so we need to take care of that. So let's go for some deadheading, feeding, and then another round of deep watering. Look at those geraniums. They absolutely love the heat. Look at that. I've never had something survive in this small window box, but the geraniums are loving it. This is my attempt at staking it. I need to buy something a little bit better than twine. I think it's really hurting and damaging the branches. Really need to research that. I have some sunflowers. I had lilies in this pot and I bought some sunflower seedlings, and look at this. We have a bloom, a light bloom, and then a very dark one. The purple is gorgeous, but I've never had that happen before, so I'm not sure why this is happening. Just next to it, I actually had to stake that dahlia when we came back because it was completely sprawling in the middle. This is Happy Single Wink. I absolutely love it. I got this tuber in the Netherlands on our trip there to visit the Keukenhof. I love it. And I mean, I'm not sure what this is. I'm assuming it's water damage. Could be some kind of like fungal disease. I'm not sure. Well, that doesn't look pretty good. But we have a bunch of beautiful blooms here. This is one-eyed Jill. The stems are really long and really strong as well, so I would definitely recommend this variety for cutting. I mean, look at the size of those stems. And in the middle there, I have another rose called Wild Eve. It's not flowering as much as the other two that I have. This is what the blooms look like. We have a couple of small examples. It's really beautiful, so a light blush pink. Purple blooms, and you'll find some bees there. I mean, the bees are just loving this and the single dahlias. This is everything that I cut back yesterday. Look at that. Oh yeah, I'm just noticing, ew, I've never seen this before. I don't know if those are mites. Can you see all those little dots there? I need to figure this out. Maybe some kind of mite? I don't know. I need to spray just to save the plants, because I'm noticing a lot of issues now that are not really sunburn related. But ew. Yeah, this is bad. I mean, it looks like there's sand on everything. And like a thin layer of, look at this. I think there are mites. So I popped into the store yesterday and I ended up finding this bug control that is prescribed for spider mites. So I'm hoping it works. It's the first time I'm going to be using it. It says it's bee friendly, so that's good. This is what it looks like. So it says to shake well before use. Apply thoroughly to upper and lower leaves. Reapplication can be applied weekly. So I'll give that a try and see what it does. Hopefully that works and we'll have healthy plants again soon. I also want to show you a couple of bits that I got in Spain. One of the things that I found is this watering aid device. So basically you can reuse an old water bottle and then drip feed your plants when you're away. So if you don't have an irrigation system, this kind of replaces it. So in this packet, I have a couple of things that you just like plant in the pot, and then you can regulate how much water per hour or per day you want to be delivered to your plant. So I can't wait to try this out, and I think this would have really helped me when we were away, just to make sure that nothing suffers too much. I'll probably use this for my bigger shrubs and trees. And you know, of course, I couldn't resist some seeds. So I got more ornamental squashes because they're just so cute, and I'm running out. Purple alyssum. Really excited just to toss this in a border and see how it does. I realized I've never tried to grow straw flowers, so that's going to be on my list for next year. More squashes. This is a butternut called Calabasa. More ornamental squashes. Yes, I'm obsessed, but those are perfect for decorating. They're really small and they tuck in everywhere. I also found some borage seeds. Even though we have a lot at the allotment, it's a plant that really doesn't like to be transplanted, so I'm thinking start from seed and we'll see. I'll probably add it to the meadow. I think it will be really beautiful. Then I got a courgette. Really like the lighter color of those. Then I also found some verbena. I'm not sure how easy it is to grow from seed, but I thought, why not try? And at the market, I also found those beautiful pieces of fabric, the Vichy pattern to make marmalade toppers, and also this beautiful vegetable print, probably to turn into a tablecloth. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this mini garden tour / Dahlia update / damage control in the garden. And I'll see you next time. Bye! Look, the cosmos that's opened. Yay! Look at this. And we have this one too.